I played this with a couple of people in my Discord server, and it was something alright. Compared to what I usually play on my channel, making a video on this one was an interesting experience. So Garfield Kart Furious Racing is a game. It's the second Garfield Kart game too, but it's not a sequel. Furious Racing is kind of like an updated version of the original game, so they added things like online multiplayer and better graphics. I actually played the first one a couple of years ago out of curiosity. The Steam reviews were all positive and it was on sale, so I figured, hey, why not try it out? When I started my first race, the game's performance was so bad that it felt like I was playing a slideshow presentation. After that experience, I feel like my memory of the first game was locked at the very back of my mind or something. Like I literally didn't remember playing a Garfield Kart game after that. Until I played through Furious Racing, of course. Garfield Furious Racing is it's an okay kart game to play for like an hour or two. I say okay as in it's okay to play if you're that curious about it and you have nothing else to do. Even better, grab a few friends or some other people you know and the jankiness will be 5 times more fun. Now getting into the game, there are 3 modes in this. Single player, split screen multiplayer, and online multiplayer. I played the online Grand Prix with my Discord members at first. Since there were 4 cups, we decided to go through each one. Before starting a race, you'll need to select who to play as. Everyone has different stats, but they're all going to be familiar if you know your Garfield lore, which is honestly a little foggy for me. Yeah, it's been a while since I read the comics and watched anything Garfield. But anyway, you'll get to pick your kart, which also has different stats. There are also accessories, like the hats and spoilers, but they're all locked until you complete objectives in single-player races. The hats give bonuses to certain items in the race, but I don't really see them getting much use. The items that you get during the race are randomized, so there's a chance that you won't even be able to use your hat's bonuses. At least the spoilers seemed more useful, since they change your stats. After we made our choice, we started our first race. I played on mouse and keyboard knowing full well that it's a racing game. Why? I don't know either. I spent a while trying to figure out the controls when the race started. Now the game plays like a standard Mario Kart clone. You can drift to boost, and you can pick up candies that give you items to use on yourself or other racers. Items like pies can be thrown at other racers too, while lasagna gives speed boosts. But what surprised me the most about this game was that it ran way better than the first Garfield Kart game. That's a massive improvement by itself. It still had hiccups though. Certain maps and areas on the track would have random frame drops, and for some reason it was different for everyone, I think. But I guess it's just Garfield Kart being Garfield Kart. There's a total of 16 maps in all the cups, and each one has a different environment. Most of the time at least. None of the maps stood out, so they were forgettable. Like I could have sworn we played through the same desert track multiple times. But it turns out there were 4 of them. They were just so similar to each other that they felt like rehashes of the first track. Driving through those maps was rarely a smooth ride too. I mean, the game had questionable level design already, but what made things worse were the controls, and just driving in general. Like, Garfield Kart is a racing game, so you're supposed to go fast. The problem was, it felt like the game was about to break every time everyone drove too fast. Some maps would have ramps where you could jump onto the next track, but sometimes it felt like you had to slow down just so you're not thrown off the map. There's also other issues, like I've crashed a few times whenever I would try to make a tight turn, and sometimes carts would get stuck behind each other if we were all driving too close. I even encountered a few bugs that got me stuck in the middle of the race. The first time it happened was in this track by the ocean. I went off the road, so I tried turning and using the boost pad on the ramp in front of me, but when I tried to turn right, I got boosted into the railings, and every time I tried to reverse, I would get boosted over and over again onto the same spot. I only got out when one of my Discord members bumped into me. The second time I got stuck was in the cave of this snowy map. I bumped into a few pillars in the center and, well, I couldn't move until I got bumped into again. Shout out to Funcho, by the way, for getting me out of those situations. I thought I was going to get stuck for the third time behind a boulder in another map, but the game probably pitied me or something. My cart respawned on the road after a few seconds. Just like everything else in this game, the AI was buggy. Like, the AI leading the race was almost always way faster than everyone else. Meanwhile, any AI that was in 8th place would get stuck at some point. It didn't happen in every race, but it happened enough times. I don't know if CC has anything to do with it because only the single player races had the option to switch between those. It's weird because I don't think this game has a big player base anyway, so you'll probably end up just playing with AI in online multiplayer. I tried to create a game by myself, but nobody joined. And when I chose the join a game option, it still dropped me in an empty lobby. But when I played through the Grand Prix a second time with my Discord members, someone actually joined us towards the end. They disconnected though. Not sure if it was a connection issue or we were just too good. Oh, and I actually tried playing a time trial race in single player, but I've already played through the Grand Prix like 2 times at this point. It felt boring going through the same track again, especially since I was alone. It was much more fun to play with everyone. So yeah, I don't think there's much of a reason to continue playing this game after you've played through all the tracks. Unless you want to unlock hats and spoilers, I guess. Or maybe rank up in the leaderboard, because why not? Now, do I recommend this game? Absolutely not. But for the memes? Yes. Seriously though, if you want it for the memes, get it for a really low price. Better yet, get it for free. I actually got it from a Fanatical giveaway recently, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be free again at some point. Until then, there are way better kart games to play out there. Let me know what you thought about the video. As always, thank you to my patrons at Patreon for supporting my channel. This video was something. Yes, it's short, but I'm not used to talking about games like this, so it definitely took me out of my comfort zone, and it took a bit more time to make. It paid off in the end though. It was really fun. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.